Y'all, today is a good day. Tori Kelly dropped, Doja Cat dropped, but we're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about J. Cole not only dropping Might Delete Later, but even two, or pretty much throughout the whole album, dissing Kendrick back. Warning shots. Anyway, we're here to talk about J. Cole breaking down his psychology once more, what's going on with that diss track, what's going on with J. Cole in general, even a little bit of what's going on with Kendrick and maybe some of Drake, and, what maybe we could probably be expecting from that. Let's get it. All right, so if you don't know me, my name is Denzel Mensah. I'm an ENFJ, 911, social sexual in the Enneagram system. I'm also a life, personal development, and relationship coach. And most importantly for this video, I am a huge J. Cole fan. However, that is not to say that I'm also not a Kendrick fan. I actually really think that Kendrick is an amazing rapper. I think he's an amazing artist at that. Like the way that he's able to use so many different types of beats and rap on them, the way that he uses metaphor, the way that he can actually use different types of flows, the stuff that he actually speaks about consciously, but then he can also attack with. Kendrick is an absolute fire rapper. So I'm not a Kendrick hater, but I just prefer J. Cole's style. And I think maybe it's because I'm a little bit biased and I actually relate a little bit more to J. Cole. I made a video a few years ago breaking down J. Cole's psychology or his personality type. I believe that he's an ENFJ, Myers-Briggs type, just like me. And I use interviews and different things of him throughout the years to be able to break that down. If you want to go and check that out, it'll be very helpful after this video, because actually a lot of what I say in that video is being shown today in this diss track and pretty much what's going on between him, Kendrick, and pretty much Drake. But yeah, like I said, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. I mean, for those of y'all who don't know, that intro song that I'm always playing for the past however many years that I've been using YouTube is from a J. Cole song. It's called A Dollar and a Dream Part 3. It's toward the end. And then the outro that I use for my videos that I've been using for maybe like the past year or two is actually another J. Cole song that I've been using as well. And so, yeah, I'm a really big fan of J. Cole. Like I said, I even did that whole full celebrity typing of him and everything. And I just honestly really relate a lot to his music. But not even just that, but I relate a lot to him as a person. When you watch J. Cole's interviews, then he's known for being a pretty humble dude. He's known for being somebody who's kind of like an older brother to a lot of the people. Granted, in his song Middle Child, he talks about how he feels like he's the middle child because he's like an older brother to people like 21 Savage, but then he's like the younger brother to people like Jay-Z and stuff like that. And so he's kind of like walking this line where he's pretty much like mentoring, but then also still being mentored, but then he has his own lane. J. Cole is also pretty much seen as like the peacemaker. Like he never really is trying to look for smoke. He's always trying to keep the peace. Even when that whole thing happened with him and No Name, he didn't necessarily apologize for what he said. His TI came out and that's just what it was. However, he did try to patch things up with No Name, even shooting himself in the foot by saying look, I don't read like how she might do and all of that. So he really does not look to try to actually offend people. He's not trying to actually get people riled up. J. Cole, I mean, honestly, he just really believes in love. And he says this throughout so many of his songs. And it seems like a contradiction too a lot of times, because in a sport such as rap music and hip hop is a very competitive genre. And so it's kind of like an oxymoron or a paradox to be someone who is about love, who is about, trying to collaborate, who is about trying to actually build relationships. But then at the same time, you are pretty much competing with these same people that you're trying to build relationships with. And a lot of them are probably not trying to see you and build a relationship with you. So you can imagine how much J. Cole, probably while he's writing his verses, then he's like holding back because he's like, oh, okay, I'm dealing with probably this sensitive person. And if I say this, even though it's just competitive fun, it might become serious. And so he has to like pull back his punches a lot of times. And that's probably why he's been often seen as the number 3 of the big 3, which is Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. Now, however you rank those 3, or even if you don't even have Drake, a lot of people don't even have Drake on there, you know, a lot of people don't even have J. Cole on there, whatever it might be. At the end of the day, I think that the biggest thing that we do need to recognize is that J. Cole does actually hold his punches back. We've seen him, especially in earlier days, come on beats really hungry and really attacking people and really like, you know, make it like roaring, you know, and like showing that he has the energy and the ability to be able to slice people up whenever necessary. I always think about his song in Kanye West, Looking for Trouble. If I remember correctly, J. Cole was like the last one invited to be on the song, and he said that he wrote that in the Uber on the way over to the studio. And that's one of his coldest verses, in my opinion. The way that he just came on, he just destroyed everybody on that song. And there were some really heavy hitters on that song, and they all did really well. But he just did that much better, in my opinion.
Heard you looking for trouble, what I'm supposed to run? Yo, bitch invited me inside it, ain't I supposed to come? Got niggas that'll blow your tee off, put a hole in one, now you outside of heaven's gate, frontin' like you know someone. Talking hard, but y'all still ain't push me. They say you are what you eat, and I still ain't pussy. Fuck it, everybody can get it. When you're this high, everybody's a critic. But when you're this high, everybody's a midget.
And the beat, the way that it was, man, it was just fire. And then I've seen him do this on so many other songs, especially recently while he's been on his feature run. You know, almost every feature that he's been on, like, you know, with whether it's Bia, whether it even is 21 Savage, whether it's Kenny the Butcher, you know, he is annihilating people on these songs. Even Drake kind of admit, like, there's a short out there, YouTube short, like a interview where J. Cole, again, he was keeping it humble, and he was like, yeah, but you know, like, Drake, even in his song First Person Shooter, like, you can tell that he kind of put aside the competition for the sake of the song, which was J. Cole's way of pretty much saying, like, hey, even Drake knows that I kind of beat him on his own song, but the song was still fire. So J. Cole, without a doubt, knows how to rap. There's a reason why he's in these conversations, and the fact is he still be pulling back his punches, because even when he's not really trying, even when he's not aiming particularly, then people start reaching. He even said it in First Person Shooter, you know, like, people, like, he'd be trying to stay out the way, and then people like drag him into beef, and then so he reads the tweets and he starts sucking his teeth, but then he lets it rock because he loves the mystique, you know? And I feel like, just like he also said in First Person Shooter, he said that, you know, if he was to hit you with any of these bars, like, you can best believe that it's going to be very clear. Like, he's hitting you up with caller ID. Like, you're going to know, like, oh, he's definitely talking about somebody here, and we know exactly who it is. And in his recent album drop, just of this morning, he definitely is talking about Kendrick, and it's very evident. Now, for those of you who know about Myers-Briggs, who know about typology and stuff like that, just for the fun of it, I believe that J. Cole is an ENFJ. Like I said, I have a video breaking all of that down. I believe that Drake is an ESFJ, and then I also believe that Kendrick is an INFP. So this kind of combination is really very interesting, especially if you know about, you know, the BB's 8-function model and everything like that. The ENFJ and the INFP are shadow types to each other. And so J. Cole's leading with the extroverted feeling. Kendrick is leading with introverted feeling. J. Cole's auxiliary function is introvert intuition, and then Kendrick's auxiliary function is extrovert intuition, and then, you know, so on. If you want to know more about that, check out some more of my videos. Check out that one video that I did breaking down J. Cole's interview process, and then I'll also even link you. I did like the Instagram breakdown of Kendrick's within like maybe about like 4 minutes or so like that. But yeah, thinking about all of this, you can kind of see where a lot of the quarreling comes in. I was genuinely surprised when I heard that Kendrick actually dissed J. Cole. I was like, what the heck? Like, as far as I knew, they've been friends forever. You know, like J. Cole's always referencing him, and they've done like, you know, they've had like pictures together and everything like that. Granted, it was brought to my attention that within the past, like, I think like 6 to 7 years, we haven't seen any pictures with them. They don't even follow each other on social media. I don't stalk them like that, so I didn't know. But I'm just saying, last I heard, then that was kind of like, you know, what's going on. And then even there's, like I said, there's interviews of J. Cole, like on like video, talking about how, like, you know, he used to just think so much about the competition, but now what he's been thinking about it, especially since he's coming toward the fall off. He's about to retire, you know, from rapping and everything like that. And he's like, man, I don't want to hop out of this and be like, dang, I focus so much on being a better rapper than you, that we didn't really like actually get to kick it. We didn't really actually get to, like, you know, hang out and do some cool stuff. We didn't actually build a relationship.
You know, I don't want to be like, damn, we never kicked it. You know what I mean? Like, we never really even did nothing. So like, I'm at that point where it's like, I'm more interested in the genuine relationship than before I was interested in the competition.
So for that reason, I really strongly believe that J. Cole does something that maybe a lot of people don't realize what he's doing, or maybe a lot of people do realize it and they just don't respect it. I have a different perspective. I believe that what J. Cole does is that when he hops in the booth, because he knows that rap is such a competitive sport and everything like that, then he hops in there and he'll rap like, oh yeah, you know, I'm the best. I'm the number one. This is that. All these other rappers are trash. Boom, 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 boom. Right? But then when you meet J. Cole, or like when you're like interviewing him, or like when you're watching the interviews of him, when you see him, like, you know, actually speaking, even I went to a J. Cole concert, and he literally talks about how, like, you know, like before the song comes on, I think it was 100 Mil. He was talking about how, like, just so y'all know, like, you know, this is just the game of rap. You know, everybody just kind of, like, you know, says some stuff like this or whatever like that. So he kind of sizes it. He kind of, like, you know, he just does what he has to do, because it's like, okay, it's for the sport of it all. But at the end of the day, is he really trying to come at anybody? Probably not most of the time. Probably the vast majority of the time, he's just saying he's the best because that's what a rapper is supposed to do, especially if they're being competitive. But it's not intended to actually be shots at someone. Well, Kendrick somehow seemed to have gotten these shots, especially from first person shooter, which then made Kendrick now hop on this song with Metro Boomin and Future like that, where Kendrick did go hard.
I hold them sentiments symbolic. Oh, my temperament bipolar, I choose violence. Okay, let's get it up. It's time for him to prove that he's a problem. Niggas clicking up, but cannot be legit. No 40 water, tell him. Yeah, get up with me. Fuck sneak this and first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like fuck rap. This Melly Mel if I had to. Got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. It's up. Lost too many soldiers not to play it safe. If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location. I still got PTSD. Motherfuck the big 3. Nigga, it's just big me. Nigga, boom.
I know that y'all have seen this. I know that y'all have heard it. I know that y'all all been talking about it. We've all been talking about it. We've been like, waiting, like, yo, is Drake going to say something? Is J. Cole going to say something? I was even wondering. I was like, bro, J. Cole has to say something after this, because I was really genuinely surprised. And I'm not going to lie. I was like, bro, Kendrick is so petty. Like, Kendrick always does this, you know, like the Heart Part 4, you know, like he came on and he's like talking about Big Sean and like just so many people. He's like coming at Drake. Him and Drake have beef. So it's like, I get it. And then Kendrick, he also like called out those other people in that Control verse, you know, stuff like that. And I think that's actually when him and Drake started their beef, because Drake did several interviews sharing his thoughts on that Control verse, pretty much saying that Kendrick did it for clout. It's not memorable. And he wasn't even really about that business. And ever since then, there's just been like small shots apparently going on between Kendrick and Drake. Now, people claim that there's also been similar shots going on between Kendrick and J. Cole. That was not brought to my attention until Kendrick made this diss. So like I said, originally, I just thought that Kendrick was overly sensitive and petty, because I'm used to him always getting upset and dropping fire verses, but still like, you know, oh, yo, like when I heard the Heart Part 4, I put that on repeat, but I was also thinking like,
man,
What did he do to make them niggas that mad?
All the time, you know, and when he raps with so much emotion, which is one of the things that makes Kendrick such an incredible rapper, because he really knows how to evoke the emotion out of it.
Lesson learned, my best look. You jump sides on me, now you about to meet Westbrook. Go celebrate with your team and let victory vouch you. Just know the next game played, I might slap the shit out you. So many verses, I never run out. What?
You're making them nervous, the music is loud.
Ho Jay-Z, Hall of Fame, sit your punk ass down. So that means you ain't bigger than rapping. So that means no more playing the back scenes. My spot is solidified if you ask me. My name is identified as that king.
And that is something that I admit he has over J. Cole, because even with the beat that Metro Boomin had produced for Like That, which is a fire beat in my opinion, J. Cole rapped on it. You know, well, somebody edited a thing on Twitter, to clarify, of J. Cole rapping on it, and it still didn't go as hard as Kendrick's did, but it's mainly because of the delivery that J. Cole had.
On bullshit, he itching. I'm putting so much work in these streets, he got pension. I told him chill out. How I look having henchmen. If shots get to popping, I'm the one doing the clinching. I came up in a vid, so I'm good when it's tension. He still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first shit was classic, your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas asleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine. Now I'm front of the line with a comfortable lead. How ironic, as soon as I got it, now he wants something with me. Well, he caught me at the perfect time. Jump up and see where I got here off of bars, not no controversy. Funny thing about it, bitch, I don't even want the prestige. Fuck the Grammys, cause them crackers ain't never done nothing for me. Whole slugs took my nigga's soul. Drugs took another one. A rap beef ain't realer than the shit I seen in Cumberland. He averaging one hard verse like every 30 months or something. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing,
J. Cole raps in a lot more of like a laid back type of way, not really like this kind of angry maniac, whereas like Kendrick, he raps in a way that's like, if he's standing in front of you right now, you gotta like watch out, because you don't know what he's about to do. He might just try to come and punch you in the face.
Nigga, boom. I'm really like me.
No, that's just the type of energy that he brings. And maybe that's the kind of thing that kind of makes him a better rapper or whatever. Sure, whatever criteria that you're going with, fine. But I think if we're just going by bars, and it's not to say that Kendrick doesn't have bars, but I feel like Cole really brought the bars for this one, especially for it being warning shots. People are hating about it. I understand. You know, everybody's going to have their own opinion. What somebody might be like, yo, this is a very fire verse. Another person's going to be like, oh, this is really corny. These are some elementary flow, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, though, what I really want to emphasize that I feel like people don't really be seeing, or maybe, again, they just don't really respect it, is that I really think that J. Cole prioritizes relationship over actual competitive rapping, and that's been the issue up until this point. However, after Might Delete Later, after he dropped that 7-minute drill song, it doesn't look like Cole's going to be on that energy anymore. It seems like the fall off is really about to be where Cole is going to actually bring out his most gritty, his most competitive, his most aggressive side of him, because he's already shown us, like, look, I am that guy who doesn't want to get in the way. You know, like, he even has a verse, you know, where he talks about it. I be staying out the way, but if the beef do come around, could put an M right on your head. You Luigi brother now. Now, of course, this is a Mario and Luigi type of reference there. People are like, oh man, that was corny, blah. Some people are also like, oh, that line goes so hard. I don't think that he was trying to make such an extravagant line, but the focus right here, what I'll say is that he made it very clear that, look, just because I'm a nice dude, just because I actually try to stay out the way and I try to actually like not be a bother to people, I actually try to keep the peace, does not mean that I am weak. Does not mean that I will not body you if it really comes down to it. Does not mean that I'm not going to step up to the plate if it really seems like you are trying to back me into a corner. You know, because you can only choose peace for so long before it's like, now you got to bring out that kind of energy that he just brought out in this latest album. And I'm just going to be honest, I'm really excited because I feel like Kendrick asked for it. And even though he was mainly shooting at Drake, in that like that thing because he was like, but he still shot like, you know, subliminals at J. Cole as well. And I was like, why the heck is he doing this? I thought they were cool, you know, whatever. Even J. Cole said it in the verse himself. He pretty much said that he likes the dude. He said, my text flooded with hunger for a toxic reply. I'm hesitant. I love my brother, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm powered up for real. That shit would be like swatting a fly. 4 albums in 12 years ago. Nigga, I can divide. Shit, if this is what you want, I'm indulging in violence. J. Cole is literally saying right here, like, yo, I love you, Kendrick. I've been trying to keep peace, you know? I've been trying to, like, stay out the way. I've been trying to, like, not really get involved in all of this. And again, some people might disagree. Sometimes I think that y'all be reaching and say, oh, no, he said steppers, and so that means he's coming in at Kendrick, or like, oh, he said humble. And maybe he is. I haven't talked to dudes, so, you know. But at the same time, sometimes it be still seeming like a reach because these are just also common words. Like, if Cole is known to be humble and he uses the word humble, then all right. But again, what do I know? You could be right. Either way, though, I do believe that he, for the most part, tried to keep the peace, and Kendrick is the one who agitates things. And so now J. Cole has given himself license and permission because he knows that, hey, if I get involved in this, it's not me. You know, I tried to keep the peace. I tried to be the bigger man. I tried to, like, you know, keep it friendly and all of that, even to my own detriment. Now people call me soft. Now people call me too friendly. Now people don't think that I'm really as great of a rapper as I am. You know what? All right. I'm about to really show y'all. And he says it in this album. He's like, yo, I put this on my authenticity, yo. I swear, like, I'm like, nobody's better than me out there. And I think, for once in this album, he's really being real. Like, you know, like I said, like, not that he's never real, you know what I'm saying? But usually, I feel like what J. Cole is doing is, again, he's just kind of like embodying what rap is, but he's not actually trying to, like, start any type of problems. I feel like right now, he's realizing, like, dang, like, even when I'm being nice, even when I'm trying to, like, build relationships and, you know, just keeping it cool with people and everything like that, I'm still getting dragged into stuff. So now, if I'm reaping the consequences of being nice and everything while also still being called, like, not as great of a rapper, one of these things got to go. So, you know what? Fine. Everybody's seen that I've been nice. Let me actually show y'all what I can do, especially since he's coming with the fall off and it's not a fall off for him. Man. Now, will Kendrick beat him? I don't know. Like I said, I think that Kendrick is also a very cold rapper. But I just had to hop on here and say all of this because I'm excited. I'm really excited. Like, I've been listening to that when the album dropped. I didn't even know that album was dropping, yo. My friend told me about it like around 1 a.m. And I thought it was just like an interview or something like that. Like, my friend sent me a tweet and it was like, oh, J. Cole said this is his stat. I think it was from NDR. And I was like, from reading it, I was like, okay, this is kind of like weak, but like, is this like an interview? I have to like hear it myself. Then I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's just like a single or something like that, because I started looking for the interview. Saw that he dropped a whole like 40-something minute album. I'm like, oh, I listened to it like twice before I went to sleep. And I've been listening to it this morning. And I've just been thinking about, you know, what's happening. Now, like, this is just really interesting because, again, to be someone, especially if I'm correct, of him being an ENFJ, I'm fairly confident on that. Fairly confident on Kendrick being INFP. Fairly confident on Drake being ESFJ. You know, like, all of this is just so interesting when you know about personality psychology, like how they're all like seeing each other in these types of ways. And they're all really great rappers. They're all really great artists. They're all really great, like musicians and stuff like that. So they're doing what they do best. They're entertaining, but at the same time, it's just very interesting from an interpersonal standpoint that these two used to be good friends, and J. Cole actively tries to stay out of this type of thing, and somehow he just continues to get dragged into it. Now, some could say maybe because he still opens his mouth, you know, like when he made that verse about Lil Pump and everything like that, which is interesting because then people's like, yeah, no, that was definitely directed at him. And then J. Cole's like, yo, and he calls over Lil Pump so they can just talk it over instead of like, you know, just kind of like getting even more high and mighty or whatever. He's like, yo, and he has a whole interview with dude. It's on YouTube. You can watch it, and he's just giving like insight and wisdom to the dude. You know what I'm saying? I really do feel like J. Cole is a genuine dude who just, again, he just wants to rap, and he just wants to like, he is a competitive guy, but at the same time, he's not trying to let his competitiveness get in the way of his relationships. But if he's already trying to live that way, and then somehow it's still bleeding into him getting into beef with other people who actually he used to be friends with, well, now what choice does he have? So I'm excited to see what's going to come up, all that. And like I said, I just had to say something about it. Like, y'all, it's been an interesting morning, you know, like right now, I don't know if y'all could tell, but yesterday allergies just hit me like what? And so I'm not even feeling that great right now, but I had to hop on camera because if I didn't, I was just going to be tweeting and flooding my timeline with a whole bunch of this stuff right now. So I just had to like push this out there and just talk to somebody about it. That light just went off. Okay. It's all right. We'll rock without it. So I want to know y'all's thoughts. What do y'all think about it? Check out the video of me breaking down J. Cole's personality type. Do y'all agree with anything that I said? Do y'all disagree with anything that I said? Respectfully, leave it in the comments below. Do you think that Kendrick is going to actually, like, you know, respond back? And do you think that, you know, he's going to win? Do you feel like I got maybe some things, like, mixed up? Do y'all want to add any more context that I probably, like, missed? There's a whole bunch of videos out there detailing all of that already. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. But, yeah, I would love to hear that. And if y'all would like to know what personality type that you are, be sure to check out denzelmensah.com. And I would happily book a session with you where we can sit down. I interview you for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, so that I can actually like get to understand how your mind works, how you perceive the world, and how you make decisions. And then I'll explain to you which of the 16 personality types that you are and how you can become the best version of yourself. I also have other videos and content that really goes into that. But without further ado, I just want to put that out there. Continue to enjoy hip-hop music. This is what a lot of hip-hop is all about. And do not forget, you matter. Done. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. And if you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. It actually really helps out my channel a lot so that more people who actually care about what I want to say can actually find me a lot more easier. Also, if you did enjoy it, then maybe you'll enjoy a lot of my other content as well. So be sure to check out some of my playlists where you'll be able to find a lot of my older videos and older content. And last but not least, if you would like any profiling sessions or coaching sessions, be sure to check out denzelmensah.com where you'll be able to book me and you'll see the rest of my services. But thanks again and have a great day.